Yo, yo, how's it going?
Not bad. How about you? You just wake
I'm,
up?
I'm chilling. Not quite just woke up, but yeah, a little bit. had
Um,
had some rare trouble getting to sleep last night, so I just kind of
oh,
like
dude, that's
got
same.
bodied.
Um, but yeah, I think this is our first Fox lesson. I think all the ones in the past was before I switched to Fox.
Ah,
So
yeah, no, you're right.
I think my Fox was already past Falco.
Okay,
Um, I think I
pretty
talked
pretty
about this.
normal.
Yeah, it's like no removing laser like opened my like third eye,
Yeah, you're
and
like,
like
what if I could dash as fast as a
yeah.
laser?
And now it's like when I play Marth or I'll play a Fox, even if they're like just shitting on me, I can like tell what's happening and I'm like, "Oh, this option probably isn't good. Like this might beat that." And they're like a step ahead. That's fine. But for some reason when I played like Aiden Cheek, I literally don't know what's happening. Like I'm I'm like put in a state where I'm like, "Okay, I'm going to try to do an option. Okay, I'm just getting comboed now." And then I get out of the combo
Hmm.
and I'm like, I guess I'll try to go in, and then I just get like dash back grabbed, and I'm like, I
Hmm.
just don't know. I think I don't understand Sheik enough to like know what to do. Where like
Yeah.
Marth and Falco, I like understand a lot better.
To be fair, sometimes the way Aiden plays is kind of weird. Like Aiden in particular. But if you feel
Yeah,
like there's issues that happen against him that are happening against multiple Sheiks, then is
I
that the case?
yeah, I think he this is an example where like I want to get help overall. I think Aiden's a good example of like what kind of happens in tournament where like
Okay.
I I just start running in because I don't know what to do. So I kind of want to like understand like what is he using from my gameplay to just like
Yeah, yeah.
dominate me so
Okay.
hard. And in the future, like how do I notice that and like not just keep doing the same thing over and over again because I don't even know what I'm doing.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, no, I'm down to go over it and take a look at those situations. I just wanted to mention that every time I play Aiden, I'm super confused. Like
That's funny.
I have no idea what's happening most of the time. One sec. My computer's kind of lagging as I'm trying to get the screen share going.
All good. I like wasn't even sure this was him because I was like, why would I get a ranked game against Aiden? And then he like did something. He did one thing, and I was like, okay, yeah, this is Aiden. Like, because I just played him on the setup like the day before, and it's because we both were in our placement matches. So like, I was like, cool.
Oh, because it's like the reset, right?
Yeah,
I forgot about that.
yeah, exactly. Okay, I can see it.
Okay, cool. Yeah. Sometimes I run into people from Verdugo that I wouldn't expect to unranked. So like
Yeah.
I run into like Turn, and I run into um Thrift Weasel. I forgot his tag for a second. I know the guy's
Oh
name,
yeah,
but
that was my round one,
oh
at
nice.
Verdugo last week.
Okay, so you said you can see it.
Yeah.
All right, cool. All right, let's take a look for a sec. See what we see. Okay, small note, not a huge deal, but like when when your opponent is at zero, it's very wise to get lasers in, just like Falco.
Okay.
It helps your moves knock down more. It like just think of like all the options that you could be doing to Sheik, where it's like okay, like up throw is only it starts only really being good at like 20, like 20-ish, because you can get like the up throw up air without needing to like tech chase on the platform. Um,
Okay.
like drill wave shine up smash starts getting good around the same percent because they can't omps attack the up smash anymore. Like a lot of stuff you need that first little bit of percent, and a lot of times drill wave shine does a good amount of damage but not enough damage from zero to get them out of like that kind of critical like super low percent range.
Okay.
And Fox is actually like one of the best characters at zero. It's not like as huge as it is for Falco or Sheik, where you're like, I need this percent, But I would say that, like, especially against Sheik, I'm very comfortable with just starting out with a few lasers, especially if you do something like drop through laser, full hop, double laser, or something like that. Though it's very rare. Sometimes a Sheik will start the match and immediately drop through and boost grab you, but usually that means you shot too many lasers in a row when they were like starting to move. Like once they start playing the game, the lasers don't need to happen. But like right here when you first start,
Okay.
it's just like so like right here, like you go like this and they move around and they come down right here. When they came down to this side plat, you can just jump up 2 lasers, drop through laser, and you'd get like 8 damage or something already. And then if you get this drill, instead of being at 4, they're at 12, you know? And like instead of being at 9, they're at 17. And so then when you up throw them, instead of being at 11 after the up throw, they're at like 18 or whatever it was.
Yeah.
That I forgot which number we were using. 19. They're at 19. And so like it just helps a lot because then maybe after the second hit of up air they can't slide off or it sends them in a good spot. Just that little bit of like low percent your combos will not work as well.
Okay.
But I know you want to focus a little bit more on like the neutral and stuff like that, but
no, that makes sense. That's yeah.
Yeah, even like right here, like you get this drill at like 11 and then 21. It's like this is like the range where the up throw just barely works. But it's a little bit of a precise input.
Because like I think you'll notice with this, and this happens every time I play Aiden. I feel like it's even, and then I lose and it's a 3 stock, and I realize I haven't been able to close out any stock like or any opening. Like I feel like it's like I'm getting neutral wins, but then like I just can't convert.
I'm just gonna watch for a sec.
Yeah.
Just as like a rule, full hop, double jump, falling back air is pretty bad.
Yeah.
Like this whole thing, definitely want to avoid those.
Yeah, I think that's my current like noob panic option. I don't know what to do.
Yeah, it's better to just go to the platform. Like you don't need to like force the interaction. I think it happens like twice here, where like right here you drop through. This is almost never good. I feel like there's like a certain level of play where everybody and their brother spams this, and it's just not good. Like full hop, like double jump through top plat, fast fall through. You want to just remove that entirely from your repertoire, pretty much.
Okay.
And then that's similar. Okay.
And then I don't know how to get out of this.
I mean,
or what I should be doing.
you should be at least ambiguous DIing to force the wave dash though.
Okay.
The ambiguous DI is up and slightly behind, and you will be able to like basically every time you do it, it'll be a little tiny bit different because it's hard to hit the exact same coordinate without like a box. But you basically want to be aiming like assuming that like Sheik is the center of your stick or whatever. You want to be aiming like right here, so it's kind of like this type of angle. And what it'll do is you get that ambiguous angle like right on top of her. And it makes it so that at the very least, she has to like wave dash to get the grab. And she can't just do like this where he's just standing here and getting like really easy tech chases. Like this just makes it like way, way easier.
Yeah, and then it's like, okay, I'll just miss tech. Oh, that didn't work.
Yeah, so there's no real way out of Sheik's tech chase except for going to the edge. Like if you go to the edge and she throws you off, she doesn't have like a guaranteed kill there. She just has like an edge guard. It is really strong, but that's just sort of Sheik for you. Like she has a really strong punish game on spacies, and so like normally I would say you go for the ambiguous DI. Once you're going for the ambiguous DI, mixing in the miss tech is like a little bit stronger too, because you can do like miss tech and then like tap up, and if they jab you, you get like a shine a lot of times.
You're still mixing up like tech left, tech right, tech in place with the ambiguous DI, right?
So when you do ambiguous DI, you usually shouldn't tech away. Tech away should be like the rarest option ever. And unless you're going for the edge, like if I'm teching away, it means that I'm trying to get to the edge so that they'll have to throw me off.
Okay.
Because the tech away is really easy to react to. You can do miss tech and then roll away. But like the regular roll away is not that good. Normally, because the ambiguity with the ambiguous DI, like The ambiguity on the tech chase that it creates is that if Sheik doesn't wave dash out of the way, her body blocks the information about whether it's tech in place or tech behind.
Okay, got it.
And that's what makes the ambiguity. And she can avoid that with the correct wave dash back, and then she gets to see the exact animation, and that's why you can't get out of Jmook stuff. But unless some Sheiks at this level, and in general, most Sheiks will miss the wave dash, especially at like lower percents, at least sometimes. And so like Aiden wasn't even going for the wave dash. So if you did one ambiguous DI, you would at least have like one mix up before he's like, okay, fine, I need to start doing the wave dash or something like that,
Yeah.
So you at least want to do the ambiguous DI, and you mix up tech in place, tech behind, and miss tech. I think
do from miss tech, is it then another mix up of get up attack like left, right, up, or is there like a bad or a good option?
No, I don't think there's I don't think there's really a bad option on miss tech. I think that usually away is a little bit better, but Sheik's like against most characters, like against Fox, miss tech and then roll away is really good. It's hard to react to. But Sheik gets like the boost grab, which makes it like kind of easy still. Like ultimately Sheik can react to any of them, but I would say that like what I really want is I really want to miss tech and have them jab me, and then I SDI up and I get them.
Yeah.
But if they don't do it, as long as you mix up out of it, it's pretty good. I think that there's sort of this balance between like, okay, you're gonna ambiguous DI every time no matter what. That's not gonna change. The only exception is if you're trying to get to the edge quickly to minimize your percent damage. That's the only time you would DI away, tech away. What's up?
Oh yeah, for that SDI, what's the input? Is it I just go up when I get jabbed to get that?
You just like tap up a bunch, or you can like hold C stick up and tap up.
It's like straight up, no angle or anything.
Yeah. Just like you would do on any other jab, pretty much. There might be some more optimal way that I'm doing it.
No, I need to incorporate that. I don't even think I do it for any jabs.
Yeah. No, it'll get you out of like most jab resets, and if you can actually get out of a laser reset with an SDI up also.
Okay, cool.
Not used enough, but also pretty hard to hit on laser for whatever reason. I don't know if it's that it needs to be like a perfect 1.0, or I don't know enough about this game. But yeah, so that's sort of like what I'll do on the tech chase. If it feels like they're really, really in the zone on the tech chase, then I'll just go to the edge, do my standard like recovery, and there's a chance they'll kill me, and there's a chance I'll get back as long as you like mix up. I'd say with Fox, you want to do more up B mix-ups. If you see them turn around and full hop, you should just side B almost every time though, because they're waiting for you to like up B, and like it's that thing where they just jump all the way out with the back air,
Yeah.
Usually you want to be up B and low. I would say just like watch Cody recover or something like that. But usually, the only other way out is that you create a situation where you tech in a way where basically you set up a situation where they want to stop tech chasing, like they decide to hit you with a move and you DI away on the move. Typically out of the tech chase, you're going to want to DI away from Sheik. Like after you tech, you'll just hold like away. The only exception is if they're going to reverse dash attack you, and in that case you hold in. And if you guess right on which side the dash attack hits you on, you can get out pretty much every time.
Okay.
But it's kind of hard to know which side it's going to hit you on. You can sort of, like, as you get better at judging it, and if you play Sheik a little bit, you can kind of tell. But so often in games still, I'm like, it's just you can't react to it because you see them running at you, and you're like, oh, I'll hold away. And they run a little farther and dash attack, and then it reverses. So it's more of just like a pure mix.
Got it.
But that's basically how you're going to get out of those. I would say, like, just sort of like accept that you could die out of it. Like you should basically like assume that you will die. It's kind of like if Falco shines you. It's like they could let you live.
Yeah,
Or like
I
if
get.
Marth
Yeah.
grabs you, but like you can assume that the better they get, the more that they will be successful on that.
Go back to like 6.
Huh?
Go back like 5 seconds. Something happened here that happens over and over again. I think so. That grab. What leads to that grab? The empty. I think it's a tomahawk. I like don't know how to not get grabbed by this, and then it happens like 3 seconds later. I'm pretty sure.
Well, you're in a pretty bad spot to begin with right here. Um, like you're right here. Like this is
Yeah.
pretty bad. I would probably shield here, and you have like a mix up. Like basically, you have a mix up you can play, but you were at such a big frame disadvantage here that you know, like it's pretty rough. You could shield, kind of be able to tell that there's probably tomahawking, spot dodge the grab, and if that happens, you get a kill out of it. But
Yeah. If it's tough, that is fine. If I like
um,
lost an interaction that I was negative, that's fine.
if
I want to
you
make sure I'm not like doing something really
yeah,
stupid.
if you have time here, probably go to ledge. Um, just because like going to ledge, you don't even have to ledge dash. You can go to ledge and just jump to side plat or whatever, you know.
Yeah.
But like you were just in a spot where like that is like that spot is, unless you're doing something to get you in that spot beforehand, that's not like a spot that's like a problem. Like it's basically like you upbeat on the edge, you upbeat off stage, and Sheik hit you, and you're like, how do I avoid that? And it's like, well, you want to avoid that position. Like you were just in a position where Sheik had like a 99-1 advantage.
Okay. And right here.
Yeah. So, what is your model of like what Sheik is doing? Like, what are you imagining that like if you could break up what Sheik is doing into maybe like 3 parts?
I think it's like she's waiting for me to approach so that she can like whiff punish, or sometimes if I am like, okay, I'm not gonna approach them.
Yeah, okay, really quick though. So what is she when she thinks that you are going to approach? She's not just like gonna like stand there. So what is the option that she is going to do to beat you trying to approach? Usually,
is it? I don't know if like her F tilt is like is a reaction, or if that's what the answer is like F tilt.
So yeah, Aiden hasn't really been doing the F tilt during this game. During this game, he's been moving backwards. So most of the time, like if they're waiting for you to approach, like if they're being really proactive, they usually use forward tilt. But if they're waiting for you to approach, it's a lot of like wall and then move back, or just like move forward a little bit and move back. So sorry, I'm trying to figure out the best way to do it. Maybe should have not interrupted you there, but
no. I get what you were saying.
But I want to get into more depth on this after you finish talking about the pieces of what you think she's doing.
Yeah, so that makes sense. So she moves back to wait, and then the other one is like, if I'm kind of like, okay, I'll go on the defensive, then I just get like dash attacked, or in this example, like basically some type of grab or dash attack, like on my shield, and then seems like that's kind of it. And then the game goes from there. Or needle. That's so bad.
So,
like I just feel like I can't get in. And if I try to slow the game down, I feel like I get hit as I'm slowing it down, trying to figure out what to do.
Okay. So, you're right that it's really hard to get in. So, like, if a Sheik is playing really well, as like defensively, you're not going to find it easy to like work your way in. But the reason why it's not easy to work your way in is not because she's like unhittable. It's that she's doing things to prevent you from getting in very directly, such as like walling back airs, or short hopping backwards with a forward air, or wave dash back. Like, she has to do some sort of action to make it so that you can't get in. And so like if you do something and Sheik does something, most of the time it's not great for the Sheik. She can get kind of run over. And so they default to like a very like, we're gonna zone Fox out, and as the Fox you're gonna be like, I wanted to try to get in, but Sheik did something. And then I tried to get in again, but Sheik did something and I couldn't get in.
Yeah.
And the issue comes that when that like basically you can potentially tunnel vision on like trying to get in and
Yeah,
not think
100%.
enough about like what your position is, because what the Sheik is basically doing, I don't know if you've watched any of my Marth lessons, where like if you remain in the mid-range long enough, then Marth will like dash attack you.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of like a much easier to deal with version of that, where basically while you are trying to find a way in on Sheik, you need to be constantly changing your position. So, for example, like you're gonna act like you're gonna get in on Sheik, but you do like a retreating laser, and then you act like you're gonna get in, but you go to the platform, and like changing your position that you are in, so that because if you're just doing a thing of like, well, I tried to get in, she stopped me. I tried to get in, she
Yeah.
stopped me. You can end up getting zoned into basically the exact spacing where like boost grab or dash attack will hit you.
Yeah, I wonder why that's a Sheik problem, because that's something I fixed with my Falco matchup because of a lesson I told you about, where like now I have a thing in my head that's like I should not go in on Falco right now. Like maybe this will hit, maybe not. And now I'm like, wait, no, don't go in. Like just wait for a better spot. Like try to get a come in from above him, stuff like that. And even Marth, I think I do that. But when I'm playing for Sheik, I don't think I understand a good spot, a bad spot, a reactionary spot. Like, so I'm kind of in this position where it's like if I like I think I do it sometimes. I'll just like go to top plat and like go to a side plat, and I'm kind of like, okay, I don't really know what I'm doing.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just kind of not attacking, but I don't have a second step besides attack after not attacking.
So think of it kind of like the fact that basically if you say to Sheik that you are going to approach, Sheik has to do some form of action to prevent that approach from working.
Hmm.
And if when that occurs, instead of just being like, well, I couldn't go in, so I stayed there, if you change your position too, then there's like a chance that with the way that Sheik moved to avoid your thing puts her in a worse position than before.
Okay,
So
that
like,
makes sense.
yeah, and okay, just to simplify things a little bit, you should not. So it's kind of tricky. So basically, Fox's approaching aerials against Sheik are really really good, like really really good. But that doesn't mean we should do them ever. And the reason is because if you think about it from the Sheik end, the issue with Fox is not that his aerials are unstoppable. It's that his aerials are so hard to deal with that you spend all of your time dealing with avoiding letting Fox, like of trying to stop Fox from running over you with his dumb aerials. And all of your effort has to be like you can't just sit there and do your own stuff as Sheik. So much of what you do is just putting yourself in positions so that he can't do dumb aerials. And so rather than actually like approaching aerialing Sheik, you want to use the fact that Fox's approaching aerials takes so much of her attention to beat her in other ways.
Yeah, I think that's so interesting because the way you're describing it is like the exact opposite of how I would ever want to play Melee, which is why I don't
I'm
play Sheik.
so yeah, I mean if you think about it, like Falco Fox is really similar, where like it's similar except Falco doesn't get put out of position that badly by lasering. Like if Falco had to commit harder to lasers, it would be very similar where like, you know, Falco has to put in a lot of effort to not get full hop nared by Fox. And so that is a disadvantage because Fox can just sort of threaten full hop nairs, and a lot of times it can manipulate you as Falco to have to move in certain ways to defend yourself from this nair that may or may not be coming. And a lot of times it's not coming. And so, like, that gives the Fox power in neutral to kind of get you to move around just by the fact that that threat requires so much attention. And Falco's kind of nice because, like, while you're avoiding the full hop nair, a lot of times it doesn't super put you out of position. But that's just because Laser's like, pew, 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 pew. But Sheik doesn't have a way to stop Fox that is that uncommittal.
Mm-hmm.
And so, like, just you dashing in, or, like, just you dash dancing like this, Sheik is never going to just stand here while you're dash dancing. She'll be like, dash back, short hop, backflip, running, wave dash back, crouch, wave dash back, short hop, backflip. You know what I mean? Like, she has to do all this stuff just to beat you dash dancing.
Is that why Laser, like, is so important? Because, like, if I'm dash dancing and she's doing stuff, and then I do, like, 2 short hop fast fall lasers, is that, like, introducing better neutral now? Because now it's like, okay, I've shown that I might not go in and you'll rack up damage. Like, is that, like, the idea? Like, just showing that I'll do more options?
Kind of. I would say that it doesn't... Like, a good Sheik will just ignore the lasers for the most part.
Okay.
In the way that they're playing neutral. But you are securing... Like, you are using the big threat of the approaching aerial and the fact that she is going to be trying to stop those aerials to get extra damage. Like, rather than the damage changing the neutral, the damage is just good damage.
Yeah.
And so, like, one of the biggest things you can do is just retreating short hop laser dash in. Retreating short hop laser dash in is broken against, like, almost the entire cast. It's broken against Falcon. It's broken against Sheik. It's broken against a lot of characters.
Why is it? Is it because I'm on the dash in? I'm, like, basically now caught up with their reaction to my laser.
Yeah, Fox is just so fast. You're just dash dancing like this, and you're just like retreating laser dash in, and it's like, whoa. There was no way to like while you're doing that, most of the time, Sheik had more of a commitment than the whole dash away short hop laser dash in by doing one short hop to avoid your approaching aerial.
Mm-hmm.
So once you have this established that, like, Sheik is always trying to avoid getting nair, drilled, up aired, etc. She has to be. Then, like, you now know what Sheik is doing in neutral. She is avoiding your aerials like the plague.
Okay.
And so what Sheik would really prefer to happen and makes her life really easy is if you are like, I want my aerials, and she says no, and then you just sort of wait because she said no to your aerials. And then when that happens, then she gets to approach with like a boost grab or something. Like, she would just love to make this wall and you wait right outside the door for her to open it and grab you whenever she wants. And so that is sort of why you change the position, because you're like, defend yourself from me here. Defend yourself from me here. Defend yourself from me from over here. And
so you can't beat the wall by just better playing them or better like, the wall is unbeatable, so you have to, like, not even try to get through it. Because I think in my head,
it's like, not that the wall is unbeatable. It's that the wall is their entire focus. So, like,
oh, so I'm playing into their.
You're playing, you're playing into, like, 95% of their brain power, and it's like you can definitely, like, and this still happens to Sheik, and that's part of the matchup, is that, like, when they get to a point where they're more worried about you dash dancing and not approaching than approaching, you can kind of just, like, 3 aerials in a row, back to the plan.
Okay.
And so you can get in on it, but, like, basically when I play Sheik Fox, I start the match, and I'm like, my goal is to keep Fox off me for as long as possible. Once I have established that Fox is not just on me throwing stuff out, then I'm like, okay, now I'm going to try to keep him off me, but, like, inch closer a little bit and maybe get a grab. That's like the whole plan.
Yeah.
And like as the fox, you can basically do this thing of like as long as you can convince her that you are going to approach into that wall, it's free lasers and free changing positions. Like remember, like when you change your position, like Sheik will have to change the way that she is dealing with your approaches. Like if you're approaching, if you're on the side plat and you're dash dancing, she has to deal with it a little differently than if you're here. And if she's in the corner, she has to deal with that a little bit differently. And so like essentially what you want to create is you want to create a very stressful environment for the Sheik where she feels as though you're always just about to attack into her, but you don't. And that's part one.
Mm-hmm.
Part two, it's all about drill. Drill is like your best friend.
Yeah.
And the reason is that drill beats all of the grounded approaches. Because eventually Sheik wants to either run in forward tilt, grab, dash attack, something like that. All of those lose to drill. So you create this situation where you're like, you're doing the retreating laser dash dance. Sometimes you just drill in place and you keep doing your dash dance. And the important thing with the dash dance is you want to be like let's say Sheik is here. You want to be like, I'm actually coming in, defend yourself. Just kidding. Actually, I'm like way back here, super safely lasering you. Actually, I'm kind of up here. Maybe you should defend yourself again. And you want to kind of like you can think of it as 3 spots. Like if Sheik is here, you can think of it as like just outside of her range, a little bit further, and even further. And you basically just want to be like 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2.
Yeah.
And you kind of mix up those ranges. And if you mix up those ranges and occasionally you're doing like drills and stuff, then it makes it very difficult for Sheik to ever actually approach because most dash attacks will miss. Like Fox can dash back faster than Sheik can dash attack. And so you create an environment where Sheik is constantly defending herself from attacks that may or may not come. And if and she's also taking some damage from like lasers and stuff. And you're making the position dynamic, so it takes a bunch of effort to stop you from coming in. And if she tries to approach you, you're kind of throwing out a bunch of drills and stuff in a way where she can't really grounded approach very easily. And then once all of that is set up, then you have your threes. And you've heard me talk about the threes before, I'm assuming.
The 1, 3, 5.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
yeah,
so
I know that, but
yeah.
But I never get to that spot where I'm
right,
like 1, 3, 5
exactly.
times.
And what I'm saying is the 3 comes on top of it. Should I say it's the most effective on top of both of those things, where you're forcing her to defend herself from all angles all the time. And changing the position. That's like the first thing. Then you're preventing her from approaching, or should I say, you're creating bad expected value. Like you want her to feel like if she just rips an attack out of nowhere, that she's being like panicky. Like you want it to feel like, oh, I'm moving around, like, and she's just like defend, and she's
So
not
it's a
gaining.
drill in place. Like I'm not like, is it like, oh,
yeah, like a short hop fade
see...
back drill. Like in
but
place.
is it like, oh, I think she's about to go and I'm going to do it? Or is it the same way
Yep.
she's doing it, where it's just like, I'm throwing out moves in case you come in? Like, is it reactionary?
It's just like a read. You just like find the spot where it feels like maybe she'll try to go in.
Okay.
And so basically you're like centralizing all her effort on defense. You're making any offense she does feel panicky or like feel like she needed to like set it up more or think more about it, because she can potentially just get drilled. And then on top of all of that, you're like, by the way, sometimes I am gonna come in with my aerials at an off timing.
Yeah.
And then Sheik's like, okay, so I can't approach you because you're always ready for me to approach, and you're always threatening these dumb aerials that I have to deal with, and you're always changing your position. And sometimes you're doing an off timing so that my back air, forward air, etc., forward tilt do not work because you're doing an off timing. And if out of all of that, you can punish really hard, it's just kind of over. Like, that is the perspective you want from the Sheik San. That, like, put in all the effort to defend, can't approach, and then also sometimes even the effort to defend, essentially, like, the effort to defend becomes kind of predictable because she has to keep it up all the time. And you can eventually...
You know what I think would help? Because, like, my game, I'm not going to, like, have good things. What if I have a VOD from last Verdugo of you versus Nut? Like...
Could we, like, I played that so bad, but...
Oh, okay. I was going to say, like, I think a thing would help where it's like, do you see how I was on top plat and he did this, so I went to side plat? Because I still don't fully understand, like,
why don't we watch when I beat J-Mook at the SoCal Starleague thing, if you have that. I don't know if that's on YouTube.
I mean, I think Shmoop's pretty good at uploading.
Yeah. Let's check that really quick, I guess.
Oh, the finals?
It's winners semis.
Yeah, I think I got it.
Okay, cool. If you could just link
it's like I think I get like the phase 1 and the phase 2, but I like am not sure how to use them together at the same time. Like, yeah.
I think me versus Nut is a horrible example, not for you to choose, but just in general, just because we've played 5 bazillion. Like, I'm just not playing the real game against Nut. I'm just come here, Michael. Like,
got it.
Oh, this is a different set.
Oh, okay. I was like,
it's fine. It was the SoCal Star League like finals, but he probably, or like not the SoCal Star League finals. The
copy. Do you know what you were wearing?
Yeah, it doesn't seem like it was uploaded. Here,
what about this one? This is the only other one I just saw.
Oh.
I think
it's not on this channel, unfortunately. Let me think. You know who's okay? So I think that different foxes are good to look at different pieces of the matchup. I think so. The person to watch for the third part that I mentioned of like how you do your threes. Do you know who I'm gonna say? It's the best threer on the entire planet.
Is it like Moki?
Nah, it's Panda.
Oh no,
that guy is literally unreal levels of threeing. No Sheik can touch that guy because he just threes it up like crazy. And actually, here, let's like I'm just gonna look up Panda Crudo, and I'm sure there will be something. Oh, they're teaming. Okay, here's this thing from like a year ago.
Yeah,
we can just check it out really quick. I can point out basically like the stuff. Crudo's very tough to deal with, so
yeah,
he's been hardened. He's been hardened by having to play against Crudo. But Panda wins almost every time against every Sheik that he plays against, and it's because he's really good at. So this is like a good example of he tried to use this thing where he's using the threat of him coming in, use the wave dash, and then he tries to change up the position. My guess is he was hoping that Crudo would do a short hop back air here, and then he could drop through and like approach. I'm not sure if this is gonna be the best VOD for like everything that I talked about.
No, it's fine. I think literally because
hey, here we go. Okay. Here we go. Yeah. So look, he's here. Dash away laser again. Pretend to approach. Sheik does a move. Wait for an off timing. Approach. Okay. This is actually like a perfect breakdown of like the aggressive, or not the aggressive part, but two pieces of it, where he's like, he's using the fact that, so first of all, he's getting his damage from the lasers, he's unhittable, and now he creates the timing. Like, Crudo had to do this, because this nair could have potentially happened. Like, or drill, or full hop up air. Like, there's so many mix-ups, like right here, this position, Sheik cannot do anything but deal with this. So Sheik has to deal somehow with Fox's approach here, usually with either moving away or some sort of defensive short hop. And when she does it, she just makes way too big of a commitment, and he just abuses that by immediately attacking in. And this is what he's just so good at. How is he so good at this?
Yeah.
He just goes here, and then he just, like, technically this is a 2. It's like a vertical 2. But it's, like, the same concept of, like, Crudo just assumed he was going to attack in, and he just does this quick full hop. He's so good at these. By the way, notice that he's always crossing up with the full hop. Subtle cross-ups on the full hop, or should I say an ambiguity on which side he's going to land on. Like, Crudo doesn't know if he's going to get hit on the right or the left. Very helpful against Sheik in general. She has to a lot of times choose which side of her she wants the opponent to be on.
So, okay, it's kind of like the Falco thing I was saying then. Is it like intuitive? Like, if I'm playing that way, I don't have to like wait for them to do a move, a specific thing. It's kind of like I'll know when it's like I'm at an advantage. Like, is that what you're relying on? Just that?
Yeah, you'll know when you're in at advantage and it's time to probably like rip a 3, or you can use the advantage to just see what they were gonna do and retreat again. You know.
Like, even I would know that, because like at the end of the day, like Aiden is just a Sheik. So I guess like if I saw him do something and he's like in lag and I'm right there dashing, I feel like, right, I would be like, okay, this is my chance to go in or something like that.
Yeah, yeah, it's basically like I think you'll gain an intuition for it when you watch that Sheik has to deal with your approaches more.
Yeah.
Because when
I'm
you
just gonna stand now. I'm just gonna like watch them and be like, okay, keep doing that. I'm gonna like instead of just naring in.
Yeah, exactly. Because their whole effort is to beat Narian because it's so good.
Yeah.
It's kind of like Falco Marth, where like if you're on point as Falco, like really on point, like you're playing really well. Probably like one of the worst things Marth can try to do is just like run off platform fair you, because you're like beyond ready. Why?
Yeah.
Because why are you so ready? It's because it's broken good.
Yeah.
And it's the same thing. Where like Sheik is so ready for the Nair because it's so good.
Okay.
And so yeah, this is some Panda magic. This is him basically reading that Crudo's gonna jump to try to beat his next move. It's a little bit more than we talked about, but
yeah. I wish I could find like Glasper versus Aiden or something like that. I feel like that would be really. I'll just go.
You don't want to watch Glasper.
Okay, well, someone
who doesn't play on box.
Okay.
And play like a
box changes neutral, I guess. Yeah.
Mostly just that he just plays like a psychopath.
Okay.
Like Glasper's thing against Sheik is like he's just gonna use the fact that Ariel is strong. That is what, like, you don't want to super copy the foxes who look like they're just running the Sheik over. You want to copy the Panda foxes who look like they're about to run the Sheik over, and then they dodge the move and then they hit the Sheik.
Okay.
Somebody found my my VOD against Jmook.
Oh, cool.
I can pull that up right after this game. Oh man, he's so good. And then yeah, what you want a lot of positions where Sheik is off stage after your combo. Because look at this, like this was just a Nair at 100. This wasn't like a big kill setup, but it does set up for the kill pretty consistently.
Oh, so if you go there, because I think go to the whiff grab, because I think my default so that's like what you're talking about, right? Like he how did he like. He's not reacting, right? He's like, we're right here, like I'm gonna jump instead of shield.
There's this thing called up-downing on the platform. Duck coined that term, where if Fox just goes to plat and comes down and goes to plat and comes down, it's actually really awkward. It's kind of like what happens to Falco. Like when Fox just full hops to plat and then comes down over and over again, it's kind of difficult to like fight him without exposing yourself to a bunch of danger. And you can kind of get away with doing that against Sheik too. Panda's just so good at the full hop. He just like uses full hop to this level that I will hopefully someday reach. I don't want to say I'll never. Oh yeah, here we go again. Let's look at this. So I'll switch to the VOD of me really quick. This was a crazy bait, man. He's so good. He's like the world's best Fox Sheaker.
Did he bait by doing the crouch?
Yeah. He just acted like he was. This I wouldn't pay too much attention to this outside of the fact that he's just like, he basically did like this weird like he did like a fake a fake 3 where he's like, I'm about to 3 you, and Kuruto's like, oh, okay, like I'll attack into that before you can complete your 3, and then it was just like a platform bait. This is also really good. Look how he does this. He'll dash dance, and then just backward full hop, creates the ambiguity. Too close to Sheik, or too close for Sheik to defend. And he goes in, like, because you'll see, despite the fact that he's so hard to hit, he does have, he does have a lot of moments where he does just, like, rush in. But it's because he's, like, confirming that those are, like, very good moments to, like, rush in on.
Yeah, that was interesting. If you, I think
Man, this guy's,
like,
it's, like, almost, I can't even process half the stuff he's doing. He's just, like, so, like, locked in. He's just, like, he's just doing stuff that's, like, man, play against another character, please. Okay, let's watch mine, because I think mine might be a little bit more comprehensible, because I'm not as good at the matchup. Like, I have to play it a lot more based on, like, my plans, and he's just past plans, where, like, everything he does clearly has this big plan in it that he hasn't thought about in, like, years.
Yeah, he just understands the matchup.
And so I think you should just watch him and copy his full hops directly. But I might have a slightly more cohesive plan, especially game 1. Game 1 against Sheik, I'm always playing the plan big time. And then it's easy to let it go out the window. So start out with the lasers, like I said. Pretend to approach. Wow, I actually approached. I'm a crazy person for doing that. This is definitely just like the feel out. So, yeah. He got me here.
How did he grab it? Was he reacting, or did
no?
He
he's
really
stupid reading. He's stupid reading this.
Okay.
He's like, we're here, we're moving around. Basically, I'm doing this thing where I'm moving. I'm getting my retreating laser. He takes the space, reads that I'm going to exit the corner and do like probably something here. Does the shield? Yeah, that was a good read.
But isn't the timing of hitting a grab when you don't know where they're gonna be crazy? It's not like grab has that many active frames, right? Like, you could be anywhere.
Yeah. I could be anywhere.
3 inches. You could be 3 inches to the left because, like, you waited half a second more than you thought. Like, isn't that okay? So
yeah,
it really
and that's why Fox rock Sheik. I mean, it's just like
if you would have full hop there, would he still have done that grab?
Yes, and I would have gotten whatever combo I wanted.
Got it. I think that's what I need to understand.
Yeah, every time a Sheik does a crazy nasty grab on you, it's because they hard read it. They're not like, they're just like, this feels like a position where Fox usually occupies, so I will grab it.
Got it.
Oh, I'm so bad.
Is there anything like I know, like, don't be above Marth, that's just like generally bad. Is there something like that for a Sheik? Like, don't be above Sheik on the plat or something?
Not don't be above Sheik. You don't want to be overly reactive against Sheik. You want to be creating responses.
Okay.
That's like the biggest thing, and it haunted me for years in this matchup, is that, like, if you try to play against Sheik, like, I don't know, what's a good example of a matchup? I don't know, like, if you try to play against Sheik like you'd play Fox Falco or something like that, it does not work out well. You do not want to be, like, baiting. Like, there's not a lot of bait. Notice that they took the bait, hit them. That doesn't happen a lot. It's a lot of, like, show that you're going to approach, notice that they did this to defend, then the next time, show you're going to approach, 3, beat that option.
Yeah, it's bait. It's like, Falco is bait, notice they took the bait, punish it. Sheik is like bait, anticipate that they're going to take it and punish it at the same time because you can't, like, react to it.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, exactly. And it's strong in a way that, like, she can't punish, like, the overall option. Man, I'm doing so many dumb things here. It's kind of upsetting. I thought I played this set pretty well. There's the drill. Hey, I'm doing some of my plan. Yeah, at least. It just looks so much worse than Panda. I'm like, the shame. This is actually a kind of a subtle thing here. The one, man, there's a bunch to go over. The other thing is that when Sheik moves forward slowly, like, let's say she walks forward.
The jaywalk or whatever.
Yeah, but not even. It's just in general. If you see
Yeah.
a Sheik walking forward at all for like any number of frames, the chances of them forward tilting are like through the roof.
Yeah, because they're just trying to get that position.
They're trying to like make sure they don't accidentally like dash attack and stuff like that, and slightly move their position forward and stuff like that.
Oh, I see.
But like you will usually like it's kind of like a tell. So basically like I'm here. Let's see right here. So after the needle, I'm watching to see what he does. He did this dash in, even though it wasn't a walk. It's just like an approach. Like Sheik's best approach on Fox is usually some kind of forward tilt based maneuver. She does it like a lot. She can't do it that much because it's like not. It's kind of like the grab where you're like, it's like when she has a big moment to get a read, the F tilt is kind of like a bigger grab. But she still has to kind of hard read it. And it's just like a subtle thing here that I thought he was going to run and crouch forward tilt, so I tried to crouch it. And then I just go for a shine afterward. And this is me do the drill, think he might come in, doesn't come in, retreating laser, and then he's prepared for my aerial here, so he gets the hit. It was a bad aerial from my end. I thought this was going to be better. Let me show a different game.
Yeah. Got the nerves out of playing on the yard set.
Wow, okay. Man, I would not want to lose to me playing like this. I'm like, are you kidding me? Listen to this guy. I also think it's just hard to play against Jmook psychologically because he's got that wobble.
Yeah.
Okay. That is something I want to mention, is this like a bit of like a, what's it called? I don't know what analogy to use. It's like the canary in the mine, where like if you notice that you're not getting a lot of kills from Sheik recovering and then you wave shine up smashing, it's like a really good sign that something is wrong. You should be noticing that, like, no, like I get Sheik in the air, I hit her off stage.
I feel like my kills are off up throw up air.
Dude, never mind. I'm just bad at this game. I don't know why I tried to show you this. I thought I would. Yeah, up throw up air is not typically the kill you want. That's more of like a combo tool against her. Sometimes you'll still get the up throw up air, but like in general, you're gonna want like an edge guard that involves some kind of.
I wonder
Dude,
then
I'm
if
so messy.
Yeah.
I never watched this back because I was like, I'm playing whatever, but like.
Yeah. That's
Holy
like
moly,
you're like
I'm
feeling
bad.
yourself in it, and then you watch it, and you're like, "What?"
Yeah, no, I don't know any of this.
After this, maybe
Dude.
like watching I think the second game I get a kill. Like once Aiden got really high percent,
We can't watch this anymore.
I'm curious
bad.
what I was doing, and what I should have been doing. Like we
Okay,
can like
wait,
skip
see-
the beginning.
Yes, you said the second game?
Yeah, and like
Okay.
we can skip to the beginning and go to when he's like 80% or 90%, and like.
Yeah, my
see
bad.
what
I
I'm doing.
definitely remembered that set differently. I thought I was playing the
No, I get
plan
that.
a lot better, but it turns out I'm just
Even
awful.
I felt that before. I'm like I was moving, and then I watch it, and I'm like, oh my god.
Usually, if I think I'm playing the plan, like the last few times when I thought I was playing the plan and I showed people, I was actually like really right, and so I was starting to feel kind of confident in it, and that was just like a travesty. So
Yeah. Okay, I think this game I am trying to like
quick
not
note
go in
is
as
that
much.
if you ever end up with Sheik facing, like if you ever are in this position, you can just like hold down and like shine pretty much every time because the back air is always gonna weak hit. Really, it's just like a common like one-off thing.
I think if you that's helpful, but I think if you start over, this is what I'm saying. It's like I feel like this is me at the beginning doing what we're talking about. It's like I'm not going in, I'm moving positioning, but you can tell it's like, okay, what is happening? What is happening? What is that? And then eventually I just put out a move because I'm like, this will go on forever. I'm gonna get hit.
Yeah.
Or something like that.
Okay. That's good to talk about. I think that you're not. What's the best way to describe it? you need to be looking at movements that Sheik makes as potential. Like, you shouldn't really be perceiving that nothing is happening while you're doing this.
Yeah.
There's like a bunch going on because so first of all, right here, I probably right here would have just stayed on the side plat because this is like a potential spot to get red to like go back up to. But anyway, it's like right here, Sheik whiffs this up air. This is definitely an opportunity to threaten that you're about to approach. Even if you react a little bit late. If you reacted perfectly, you can probably just hit her for this, like nair up tilt. But like most of the time, you're probably not going to react to like this random up air perfectly. But you could have at least like. There's a reason why that he's putting out this fair right here, and it's because he thought you might be in his face.
So like dash in, dash out, like dash and grab, for example.
From your end?
Yeah, from my end.
You don't really want to try to be raw grabbing there too much. I would say you can just move in and see what he like. You can move in and full hop and then go to the platform, or you can
That's
move
my
in
problem.
and move
I like
back.
try to find my way in right away. You're like, no, not yet, and I'm like, okay, this is an opening. Like, how do I get in?
Yeah, because you have to be looking at what Sheik is doing. There's opportunities everywhere to create slight advantage positions. Like you could be moving in right now if you were moving in because Sheik is full hopping. Then when Sheik eventually does this short hop, you can be like, okay, Sheik is short hopping. Sheik doesn't have that much drift. Out of a short hop, she has to land in a certain position here.
Yeah.
You can time yourself to maybe Sheik lands and then you're right in her face, either attacking or full hopping or doing like a 3, or you can just see that she's locked in her position, go to the side plat. When she lands, you're like right here, and then you can potentially threaten to come off the platform or go to the top plat or continue playing neutral.
Okay, I think that makes sense. It's like a small advantage. Like I go to side plat. Here, do you want to pause it for a second? Like I want to make sure I'm right. So it's like let's say I go to side plat and like she is like below me. Like technically I'm in a slight advantage, but instead of like going down and trying to do it, I move again and like she tries to hit me again, and now like it's like a double advantage, and you're like stacking up advantages until it's so clear that you have an opening. Does that make sense? Because I feel like the first time I sense something, I like go for it.
Yeah. Okay, so you're almost there. And so like it's not that you so in an ideal world that would be how it works. A lot of times though, you can't keep finding positions that are slightly more advantageous. You'll sort of like hit a wall where you're like, I found this position that was pretty good and I moved. And I found this position that was also kind of good and I moved. And the important thing is you want to use those positions like so like in an ideal world, Sheik gets into a slightly bad position, you make a threat, it causes her to move into an even worse position, and you hit her. That would be like ideal. If the Sheik is doing things well though, it'll end up in this sort of like, let's say you get like 60-40 position and then you don't take it, and then there's another 60-40 position and you don't take it, and your job is to like solve the ambiguity on which one of those 60-40s was the right one to go in on. And you can do that by, when a 60-40 situation happens, recording how Sheik like somewhat reacted to it. And also recording just over time how Sheiks usually respond. So like you're not, everything isn't based on what does this Sheik do. Like in my head, like when I'm here and oops, a little bit further back. So like right here, if I'm dash dancing and Sheik does this forward air and I was still in the corner, like what does Sheik want out of that spot? Like she's either going to try to grab me, wave dash back. Is she going to try to like approach into the corner with like a forward tilt? And if I just go to like the side plat for a second or go to ledge or whatever, I get to see all of what she was thinking right there. Because remember, she's not reacting. She has to like read to some degree here.
Okay, this could be stupid, but it's kind of like, you know, when you're like high five and then you pulled the 5 away, and like, is that what it's like? High five, Sheik, and then you pull it away and then you see what she would have done to hit the high 5.
Yeah, I mean that's kind of the entire game.
Okay.
That's like all of Melee pretty much.
Okay.
Is like I always say that like Melee is like you convince someone, like you need to convince someone that you're playing that you're doing something together. And the moment that they give you a cue that you realize that you're doing the same thing or that they agree that you're doing the same thing together, then you deviate.
Okay.
It's kind of like socially maladaptive in that way, where it's like the opposite of how you would want to like socialize.
Yeah.
Where you're like, come on, like we're together, we're doing it together. Like you go here, I go here, we all know how it works. And they're like, right, I get it. I go here, and you're like, yeah, I'm not there. Like, can't make you believe me.
Yeah.
Yeah, apologies. I feel like this could have been a more optimized lesson. I feel like
No.
I've been a little all over the place, and I'm ashamed at my awful VOD.
No, I'm fine. Like this is
The
fine.
VOD did not show what I wanted. I realized I was just doing a bunch of JMOOC specific reads and not really playing the matchup.
I don't think I'm at the point where like learning specific spots would even help. I really think like the mental stuff helps more of like what to look for instead of like in this spot you full hopped and you should have like done these hops, because it's like I probably don't even know why I full hopped in that moment. Like I just full hopped.
Here's a good example of you could like right here. I would say you don't really want to commit to these ever, but drop through double jump waveland down is really good because you would get to see that he wave dashed back here.
Waveland down back onto the plat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you would see that he did this. And honestly, a lot of times later, you can eventually bait people, just like you would with Falco, would drop through double jump, waveland off, drill grab. Like here. Drop, waveland off. He wave dashes back, whiffs the down tilt, drill grab. You potentially get a whole stock out of that. But, you know, if you don't know that he's going to do that, you want to play it safe for the most part.
Is the down air a DI trap? The like when I get down aired like 4 times in a row?
Yeah. You basically always want to DI down air away.
Oh, wait. You broke up.
Yeah,
Where?
you always want to DI down air away.
Oh, wait. Okay.
Sheik combos are low-key, like, basically the way that Sheik combos is almost always a 50-50 based on whether you're holding in or away. And the Sheik is always going to be making a read whether you're holding in or away. Usually away is the best. Like, I would say against 90% of Sheiks, if you just hold away the entire combo, you'll get out.
Yeah. Yeah,
but the really good ones will figure out how to keep you in the combo despite that, and those are the ones where eventually you start mixing in, like holding in or whatever.
Yeah. I think I have to go in like 5 minutes, but
okay, really quick.
Yeah.
I'll just end it right now. But so it's like kind of what we were saying about like finding the right 60-40 to like approach on. It's just really important to keep in mind that every time that happens, Sheik knows she's in a 40-60 and she's gonna have to try to deal with it. So like you are not like when you find a 60-40, that's not on you to approach. It's not like, well, I gotta make use of the 60-40 by hitting her. It's like she needs to deal with her 40-60 by not letting you hit her. And that is like what you like that is what helps be like, that is what helps you be like, is this the right 60-40 or should I just mentally torture the Sheik more?
Got it. Yeah.
Or like watch the Sheik more, or
that makes sense.
And stuff like that. So you should see each potential opening as like a potential spot to scare the Sheik or to pressure them or to like, because when as a Sheik, like imagine you're the Sheik. So as the Fox, you're like 60-40 nothing, 64, like you get 60-40 nothing happens, right? You're like 60-40 nothing, 60-40 nothing, 60-40 nothing, 60-40 go for it. And you're like, ugh, it felt so random. Like from the Sheik's end, it's like 40-60 defend myself, nothing happened. 40-60 defend myself. Like every single one of those is like mad stressful. And
is that why Deez makes those faces when he plays?
Maybe. I think those are just natural. But that's like the thing to keep in mind is that like if you feel like it's a guessing game on your end as the person with the advantage, imagine what a frustrating guessing game it is from the disadvantaged end, you know?
Yeah, so I'm doing them a favor by going in all the time.
Yes, exactly, because they don't have to suffer through the feeling that you might be, like, mixing it up, you know? They just see the position. I love playing bad foxes for that reason. You just see the spot, and you're like, Fox's Nair would be good against Sheik here, and you defend against the Nair, and I just force stock like every bad fox like that.
Yeah.
Okay, well, any concluding thoughts? I hope you found this lesson useful. I feel like I was at like a 7 out of 10 today.
I think it's good. I think
organizing my thoughts.
I think now when I play, it'll like start sinking in because now I know what to think of. So like, this is like what I wanted. Is like just because I don't even know what to think during Sheik before this lesson, and now I'm gonna be like actively watching certain aspects, which I think will help a lot more.
Okay. Yeah, that sounds good.
Yeah. You're just gonna rant about the match right after we hang up, probably?
About the
yours. I feel like you're.
Yeah, no, I'm not. I'm not in like a rant about it type of sad about it. I'm in like a never speak of it again type of.
Yeah.
I'm just like, oh, like that's my one like major win on Jmook. Like, come on.
Yeah.
It's gross.
Okay, cool.
I need to go study at the Shrine of Panda.
Yeah.
I would say also, like, if you like, basically if you're doing this and you see the stuff and you see the 60-40s and you're still having trouble hitting her, just watch 3 hours of Panda VODs.
Okay. Yeah.
And you will transcend in this matchup. He's the GOAT.
Cool. Well, cool.
All right.
Thanks, man.
Yep, sounds good. I'll talk to you later. Have a good one.
See ya.
Peace.